All right, so in this video, I want to teach you the technique of how to do a loop on one side of the bead, and I also want to teach you how to do 2 loops on one bead as well. This technique you can use for so many things. You can use for earrings, for necklaces, for bracelets, for like putting charms on necklaces, for making dangled earrings. I mean, this technique I use so many times. It's one of the first techniques I ever learned, and I've used it for the past over 15 years. And so it's just a great technique to know. And so we're going to use our round nose pliers, a lot of it. The round nose pliers is designed to make loops. It is just, that's the way it's designed. See how you have a small end down here and a bigger end down here? Well, this is to make different size loops. So at the small end, you make small loops. In the middle, you make medium loops. And at the big end, you make big loops. And everywhere in between, you can make any size loop, right? And these are so great. And so what we're gonna do is, for a head pin, it has a flat top. It has a flat bottom, whatever. It has a flat bottom. And you use it for things like this, when it's like the end bead to the jewelry piece, whether it's the end of the earring, like this one, because you don't want to loop at the bottom. It looks so unfinished. It drives me nuts when people do it. It doesn't look nice. And don't rip on them for it, but just know, hey, it's better to put the head pin. Or when you're making a necklace and you're putting lots of beads in a row, like dangling the beads from the chain, the end piece should always have the head pin on. So we're going to show you how to put to make a one loop on your bead. So you get your head pin, put it on your bead. You're going to cut it. I mean, like if you want a big loop, you're going to cut a little bit, right? If you want a big loop, you're going to cut like that much off. But I like small loops. After all these years, I feel they have more integrity. But if this is beginner, make as big a loop as possible because they're much easier. Start with a bigger loop. I'm going to do a smaller loop. And so I've cut a good amount off. I'm going to bend this back at a 90-degree angle, just like that. Bend it back at a 90-degree angle. I'm gonna take my wire and put it between the pliers, right? I'm going small, so I want it on this end. And then I'm going to loop around, and then loop around some more, like that, and finish it off like so. And sometimes you can finish it off with your round nose pliers, but sometimes you need to finish it off with your snub nose pliers because you need the loop touching like this. It needs to be touching. If it's like this, then it's gonna fall off whatever it is that you made it for. If it's like this, that's a gap and it's gonna fall off. You want it touching like this. And so did that, looking good. I like small, see, just like on here. I made a big loop up here and to show that you gotta see the video. And then I made smaller loops down here and stuff. I like the smaller loops and how they look. It looks really great. And I made all these loops. It's fabulous, darling, fabulous. So then you have your eye pin. This is great if you just wanna make another loop or do other things. And so we have a loop on one side. Let's just make us one more loop on the other side like this. So I'm gonna cut off the excess. I think I cut off a little too much the last time, I'm gonna be honest. So I'm gonna cut off, right? And then I'm gonna bend it back at a 90-degree angle, like so. Look at that. And then I'm gonna take my round nose pliers, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger just to show you. And I put it at the very end, it's flush right here, like you can't see it on this side, it's flush. And I'm going to loop it around like this. And then I'm gonna open it up and bring it down and loop it up again and loop it. So I just keep like going down and just keep looping it, right? And there you have a beautiful loop, a much better loop than the first one. Now, let me show you how to make loops on both sides. Like you do it, not just have like the company do it for you. You make both loops. Now I usually make 2 loops with my head pins. My head pins are a lot bigger. I cut off the head part of it, the flat part of it, and I usually make a loop on this side, loop on this side. But these head pins are too small to do that. And so you can actually use your wire. You can use this beauty to do that. Ooh, so if you don't have a big enough head pin, then you can go to the wire. Oh, so I'm gonna cut off a good amount, about 2 inches. Ooh, it just wants to shoot. Go bing. Okay, and I'm going to put it on my wire, and I'm holding it, see, I'm holding it again with my thumb, pointer finger, and middle finger. I'm holding it like this so the bead stays in place. It's important the bead stays in place because I need to know where to move my, I need to know where to put my loop. So I'm going to bend it back at 90-degree angle, still holding it, right? And holding it against it. See, now I have my thumb and I put my pointer finger on top and this on bottom so the loop stays where it's at. And I'm going to grab it. It's going to be a medium loop, right? That's a good amount of wire. And I'm going to, again, hold my wire. I'm going to loop it around, loop it around, loop it around. And I have my loop just like that. Oh, isn't she a beauty? Isn't she a beauty? Now I need to cut off excess. I have too much. I have too much wire. So I'm gonna cut off. Oh good, it didn't go flying off. That's a little big. I want a little bit smaller. Okay, and now I'm gonna do the same exact thing. I'm going to bend it at a 90-degree angle like this. I'm going to grab it from here and loop it around, let go, hold it again, loop it around, let go, hold again, and have myself a gorgeous two loop bead. Look at this. You can even, if you need your loops facing the same way, you can either use both pliers and just kind of shift them gently, and have the beads facing the same way if you want. You don't always need that for most of your jewelry pieces, but for some you do need your loops facing the same way. Isn't that cute? And that is how you make a single loop and then a double loop.